All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most expensive projects any business can take on, the ERP system. You know, the Enterprise Resource Planning System. These things are massive investments, and they come with this huge promise, right? To be the digital brain of your entire company, connecting finance, operations, the whole shebang all in one place. The promise is efficiency, clarity, and a clear path to growth. But there's a pretty big problem with that promise.
And yeah, it's a really big one. Get this, according to Gartner, over 70% of ERP projects fail to actually deliver on their original business goals. Just let that sink in for a second. 7 out of 10 of these massive, multi-million-dollar projects fall short. That's just a staggering number, and I bet a lot of you listening have felt that pain firsthand.
You know, this disconnect, it creates what I like to call a tale of two investments. There's the one you thought you were buying into, the one that got sold in the boardroom, and then there's the one you actually ended up with. And often, those two look nothing alike.
So let's just lay it out. On the left, that's the dream. This beautiful unified system that streamlines everything and helps you grow your business. But on the right, for that 70%, well, that's the reality. We're talking budget overruns, nobody wants to use the darn thing, endless tweaks and customizations, and a system that feels less like a speedboat and more like a giant boat anchor holding you back.
So what's the deal here? Is the technology just bad? Are the teams lazy? Honestly, no. That's usually not it at all. The real problem is something a lot more subtle. Something that kind of creeps in over the life of the whole program. The real culprit, folks, is the gap between your strategy and your execution. It's that empty space where a really clear, high-level business idea gets totally lost in translation on its way to the tech teams who are actually building the thing. And when that gap gets wider, your ERP just starts to drift further and further away from why you bought it in the first place.
We call this program drift. And here's the thing you have to understand. Drift isn't some big dramatic event. It's quiet. It's a slow burn. It's what happens when decisions are being made all over the place, when priorities are constantly changing without any shared compass, and when all those tiny little changes slowly pull the entire project off course. It is the hidden killer of your ERP investment.
And the symptoms? Oh, I bet these are going to sound painfully familiar. You start seeing features get built that nobody can explain the business value for. Different teams are using different logic to make decisions. Scope creep is being driven by what's cool and new in tech, not by what the business actually needs. And pretty soon, your executives completely lose faith in the ROI, because there's just this massive disconnect between their vision and what's actually happening on the ground. These are the red flags.
So, the big question is, how do we fix this? How do we close that gap and yank the ERP back in line with our strategy? Well, the answer isn't more meetings or more red tape. It's about a disciplined but lightweight framework that is built for one thing: performance.
And that solution is what we call an operational performance enabling framework. Now, I know, that sounds like a mouthful, but don't let the name scare you. This is not another layer of government to slow you down. It's the exact opposite. It's a simple system designed to make sure every single change made to the ERP is directly tied to creating real, measurable value for the business. It's all about discipline, not about complexity.
And just to be super clear on its role, this framework is a structured way to take ideas and shape them into work that's actually ready to be built. It is a shared rhythm that gets business and IT on the same page. But what it's not is just as important. It is not a replacement for your IT governance. It is not a secret backdoor to bypass existing processes. Think of it as a bridge connecting two sides, not a detour around the city. And this whole thing is built on just a few core common sense principles. First, evidence before effort. Simple, right? Prove the value before you spend time and money building anything. Next, decisions stay where they belong. The business owns the what and the why, and IT owns the how. And crucially, every single thing you do is traceable back to a clear strategic goal, using the same decision-making logic every time. Okay, so that's the theory. But how does this actually play out day to day? Well, it's all about creating a simple, repeatable rhythm that turns that chaos of requests into a clear, prioritized pipeline of real work.
First is intake, where you capture requests but make sure the business reason, the why, is crystal clear from the start. Then triage, where you quickly sort them. Now step 3, shaping. This is the magic right here. This is where the business validates the problem, puts a number on the value, and then works with IT to make sure it's even possible. Only then, once it's been shaped, does it move to prioritization, where all the validated ideas get ranked. This simple cycle makes sure that only the most valuable stuff actually gets worked on.
And when you consistently apply this kind of discipline, something really powerful starts to happen. The way your entire organization thinks about the ERP, it starts to fundamentally change.
You start to move up the maturity ladder. Most companies start at level 1, where the ERP is just seen as this big IT cost center. But with a framework like this, you can move up to functional alignment, and then the ultimate goal, level 5. That's where your ERP becomes a genuine strategic advantage, a platform that helps you innovate faster than your competition and directly drives your business forward.
The result is a total transformation. You're basically turning reactive, intuition-driven ERP evolution into planned, comparable actions aligned to an explicit direction. You stop listening to whoever shouts the loudest and start making evidence-based decisions that actually help the entire company win.
So, I'll leave you with this one question to chew on for your own organization. Is your ERP enabling your strategy, pushing you forward? Or has that program drift turned it into a constraint that's holding you back? The difference is all about bridging that gap between strategy and execution.